On today's episode of Kingdom Stars, we have a renowned artist whose career has spanned almost 2 decades. She is the secretary for Lagos State of Gospel Musician Association of Nigeria. Her name is Olubunmi Ogunremi, also known as Majesty. Welcome on board, Ma. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So we are so excited to finally draw from a stream of knowledge because there are so many misconceptions about many issues in the gospel music industry or ministry, and that's another thing. Some people say there should be a difference between gospel music ministry and gospel music industry. Some people say that the gospel music ministry should not be called an industry, and I believe that there's a difference between the two. So that's one of the questions that we would want you to address on the show today. But before then, I would love us to have a little background about you. How did you get into gospel music ministry? What informed your decision to do gospel music?
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on wherever you are looking at us. I am Evangelist Olubunmi Ogunremi, popularly known as Majesty. I read Secondary Cum Law. So I thought I was going to go into it deeply, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I met myself singing. Because when God called me and told me frantically, Omo, this is what you're going to do, you know, you don't struggle with your creator. That's it. So that's it.
But you've always had the talent for singing.
Yes, of course. If you are a Christian and you have to be in the choir, you know, automatically. So as time goes by, I just found myself developing in it. And you know, if you were God giving you a script to write about song and all that, so you just know that.
So speaking of songwriting, there is this idea that gospel artists should not pay people to write songs for them to sing. What do you think about paying people to write songs for you?
Earlier on, you mentioned the music industry and music ministry. When you are called into the ministry, do you know you cannot help God? Okay. He goes with you and he gives you direction. So if he doesn't go with you, if he doesn't give you direction, what do you know you want to sing? Working in the industry is different from having the ministry. The message is bigger than the messenger. Do you understand? So if you have to receive the message from God, do you get? Finding yourself in the ministry, that in the industry, that means you have to take the message from God. So if the Lord did not give you the message, what do you want to write?
So you're saying that certain people cannot just have there's a difference between those who claim that they were called by God and then decided to obey the call, and those who have the talent singing,
yes,
and choose to glorify God with it. So for those who have the talent of singing and really just want to glorify God with their talent, but don't have songwriting skills or don't receive the message like you rightly called it, is it wrong for them to pay people to write songs for them and they just sing because they want to use their talent to glorify God?
I don't know. I've not been paying people. I don't know if they pay people to write songs.
They pay people. Yes, paid
maybe those are the ones in the industry that you just mentioned. But if you are in the ministry, you don't have to pay people. You have to receive whatever you want to do in the world from God.
Thank you very much, Ma, for your opinion on that. So let's talk about the difference between gospel music ministry and the industry. There's been so many conceptions about that. A lot of people, in fact, the online space is filled with a lot of controversies regarding that. People say, well, you can't function in the ministry unless you are in the industry. Being in the ministry automatically makes you a part of the industry. Let's strike a balance. What really is the difference between music ministry and music industry?
Music industry is different from you being a minister. If you are a minister, that means you are talking about gospel minister. Gospel minister preaches about gospel. you are going to be emphatical about Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is the gospel, and that is what you have to preach to people. So when you are being called, whatever you want to do is embedded inside of the gospel, which carries Jesus. So if you are in the ministry, they think, that does not glorify or does not edify souls. I wonder what you're becoming. I don't know if you get that, my analogy.
I understand your perspective.
Okay.
I would really love to hear other artists' perspectives on this, because I know that this is one very controversial topic when it comes to music ministry. A lot of people have different views on it. Some people say that the industry is literally the platform for ministry. But thank you very much for your take on that. Now, another question I would love to ask is, since you are the secretary of the Gospel Ministers Association of Nigeria, I'm sure that you're familiar with Gospel Musicians Association of Nigeria. Thank you. I'm sure that you are familiar with a lot of challenges that artists face in the ministry. So let us in on some of those challenges. What are the challenges that some gospel artists face in the ministry?
The first challenge that I feel, though there is God, there is Jesus, but there are times you have the song with you, vital songs that you want to produce for people to hear. Everything is now online or on digital. But when it comes to you not having money, it is a big challenge. And not knowing who can really go by giving you that can make you propel, or can make you how do I say that thing does not the English I really feel to use. And if you want to evangelize, it is so difficult. It's different from you just want to sing. If you want to sing, the majority that is in this world, they have what they want to hear. But if you have to come to evangelize through song, it is so difficult and challenging. So money is one of the challenges we have just to propagate the gospel.
Financial constraints.
Exactly.
Financial constraints in what sense? In producing the songs or in distributing the songs? Because I know that one issue where...
Like I met one of my friends this morning. She has a good song on her phone and she played it. She said that she wished to release the song before her birthday, which comes up on October. And she met with the video man. Okay. The man said he wanted to collect 150,000 naira for a 5-minute single.
Okay. For video production.
For video production. For just people to see that she is praising God. Okay. So 150,000 naira. If she does not have anybody to call upon except God, though God provides everything, yes, but then you must have people around you that will really move you on. So that is holding her back. Financial constraint.
Financial constraint is one thing. I when you mentioned 150,000 naira, I was shocked.
Okay.
Not because
for 5 minutes single.
I'm actually shocked because I've heard more outrageous amount.
Okay.
Yes, someone mentioned how that he walked up to a videographer, someone who was going to help him produce video production, and then he wanted to record a video for one of his artist songs because he's a manager, and then the person asked him to bring 2 million naira. So I feel that we can't really blame these people because the gadgets they would use, they are bringing in their expertise too. These people, some of these people are professionals who will give you what you really want, because they would ask you the concept of your videos. There's a difference between when you just take a video in a studio, when you...
Or you take a selfie.
No, or when you take a video in a studio, it's just in the studio. And then some people want different shots and there will be different locations. So they will charge based on some people would say they want 5 different locations. They will shoot in those areas and then bring it into a 5-minute video. So it may be expensive because of things like that. So I understand.
So in a case that you ask of the challenges,
yes.
In a case the person does not have 2 million,
yes.
do you know that is restrictive?
Definitely.
So what do we do about that? So that was one of the challenges that Christians or gospel artists have.
Wow. That's actually something that almost everybody talks about whenever you ask about the challenges. Financial constraint is always one of the challenges, and I really hope that gospel artists are able to manage the situations. Okay, how are you able to manage situations like this when you face constraints financially? Do you sit back and wait?
No, you don't relent.
Okay.
When you are called by God, you call him and you move on. You have the talent the Lord has given up to you, and you have, no matter how people are minute, you still have them around. So you keep on moving. The Lord Jehovah Jireh means the God of provision. He has given you the vision. He knows how to provide.
Thank you very much, ma. Are there other challenges that gospel artists face aside finances?
Finances carries the paramount aspect of it.
Yes.
Then, what do I have to say? If you have money, everything comes easily. So even even if you are not called in the church or various places like that, if you have money to project or to produce whatever you have gotten inside of you, they will see you.
Thank you very much. Money truly answers all things.
All things.
So we'll go on a quick break, and when we are back, we'll continue with the questions. Thank you very much. Stay with us. Olubunmi Ogunremi as our guest, and I am your host, Praise Shogbade. Before we went on a break, we were talking about some of the challenges that gospel music ministers face in the ministry, and she mentioned financial constraints as the major constraints that gospel ministers face. Now let's move on to some other questions.
Okay.
This particular question raised a lot of concerns online and controversies from pastors, from fellow gospel artists, and of course the general public. The question of whether or not a gospel music artist should charge, as in ask for a particular fee when he or she is being invited to minister. Now the reason why, I'll just give a little background of what happened online a few weeks or months ago. The reason why certain artists claim that they charge is because they have instrumentalists to pay, they have backup singers to pay, and then there's the issue of transportation. There's the fact that some of them take it as a profession, as a full-time job, and then that's literally what they live by. But then some other persons would say that, or they have said that if it's the work of God, you don't have to charge for it. So what is your opinion?
The Lord is good. In my own opinion, like, let me use myself as an example.
Yes,
I don't charge.
okay.
And I don't like to charge. But that I won't charge has to be based on your request. That is, if a church, if you are inviting me as a singer to come and sing in your grandma's burial, I'll charge you. Let's say birthday and what have you. But to come and sing in a church, I won't charge. I won't charge literally will be basically on your request. If you ask me to come and sing alone, there are diversification in singing. If you say I should come and sing, maybe you have your own backups and your choir member to back me up. I cannot charge you. I won't. But if I am coming with my team, I won't still have to charge you. But you should know I brought my people so that the thing will,
Now that's where the issue is. Some of these people, some of these hosts, you expect them to automatically know that I'm coming with my team, and so you should do the needful. But then there are times when, even when they see that you come with your entire team, all that some of these artists get is a thank you for coming. So how do you handle it in such situation?
In time past, I have gotten like 2-3 a counter like that, that I have to pay the backups with my money. They will even tell you, Mama, ẹ̀yin lọ́lọ́run pè, ẹ̀yin lẹ pè àwa, so give us our money. Do you get?
So how did you
so
handle
I'll tell the man of God, he should know. If you want to go to the house of God, don't go in empty-handed. So if you are calling us, you won't call us in empty-handed. Though you know the way with which the pastors pay varies.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes.
So it depends on the church. And when you're having your crew too, they must work with you. They must believe in your vision. So it is not money all the time. Do you get? Church is even difficult to go. Wherever you are called to, you must pray. God must tell you go, don't go. So if you want to go, and you are not charging them, they should know the needful to be done.
Okay, what if we have a scenario whereby you were invited to a church, you did not charge the church, but you went with your team, expecting them to know that they should do the needful, but it was the end of the program and they eventually did not do the needful, and you had a team to pay? What would you do instead?
It won't be in this time of lifting of subsidy. What do you think?
It can happen. That's the abuse.
It has happened. I told you in the
Yes.
time past, and I have done it. I have paid with my money.
With your money.
Go to a bank to withdraw, to the ATM machine to withdraw and pay them.
What if such a host calls you a second
Again,
time?
I will ask for the transportation. It is not about me. It is about them, and this thing cannot be done alone. That's it.
So the controversy online is
But you calling yourself a gospel artist, gospel minister, so to say, and you are charging millions, knowing fully well that the hosts or the pastors cannot go by that, and they want to have you, they want to be blessed with what the Lord has blessed you with, and you are charging them that. It's absurd.
That's literally a very wide topic, because some of these gospel artists have come out to justify themselves, not directly. Some people say that they can't travel all the way from, some people live for Abuja from Lagos.
Okay.
And then there's the issue of sorting out flight tickets. There's the issue of them being very big artists, and then there are certain amounts that they have gone beyond. There's the issue of them having professional background vocalists that don't charge little too. In as much as some of these people have background vocalists, some background vocalists would give you tell you what they want. They'll tell you the amount they want to collect. So they work based on a lot of things actually happen. Some people have come out to say, I really want gospel artists to talk about this issue, and let's have
Do you
as many
know?
views as
Do
possible.
you know one thing? That God is the rewarder of all things. There is an eulogy about God that says, I don't know how to really paraphrase it in English. Odenilalejo wonje to nile ma je. You are the owner of your house,
Okay.
and I'm coming to greet you. I tell you, and I know the nook and cranny of where your food is. Isn't that marvelous? You don't get. God, if He has called you into the ministry, He knows how to bless you. I dropped my heart to one of the gospel musicians, Nathaniel Bassey. He doesn't charge, and he has what it takes to live as a Christian.
Speaking of Nathaniel Bassey, he had an interview some years back, I think
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago, at a particular church, Household of David, where he said that this particular issue was being discussed between himself, Victoria Orenze, Bukola Bekes, and one other minister, I can't remember, Dunsin Oyekon. And they asked the question, should gospel ministers charge or not, or do you charge? And he said that he doesn't charge, but he has had a particular, or he didn't charge at the time. I don't know if he does now, but he had a particular ugly experience where he had to travel out of Nigeria with his team, and he did not get anything. He had to use his money to transport his team to
Back.
and fro, and even paid for the hotel room. So it was such an ugly experience, because he thought that they had paid for the hotel room, and when they were about leaving the hotel room, they stopped them saying that it wasn't paid for. And then they also got to the airport, and I think he said that they traveled on credit because someone vouched for him. So imagine facing something that bad. Traveling out of Nigeria is not a joke, and paying for yourself and your entire team. So imagine facing such an ugly experience. I think that people take this for granted. They take the fact that some artists don't charge for granted.
People, you can take me for granted, but God will not take you for granted. So do you know that might be a trial from God?
Okay.
Yes. Let anybody downgrade, downcast you. God knows how to pay. If you ask Nathaniel Bassey about that, he would have told you a good testimony after that. I had been to a church thinking they were going to pay me huge amount. When I was leaving, they said, can you imagine such and I don't have money to go. I was the one that even took money from one of my bands, Fumilo Moto. But before I got home, I am not sweet tonguing. I am not. I am telling you what I have gone through, and it was an experience. When I got home, somebody just called me. I said, 350 no. No, full said lemagba. I saw God in action. So God has a way, and you cannot be going like that without you being tried. Okay. So if they do you anyhow, if you are pained, the Lord knows how to subsidize.
So let me try to paraphrase all that you said so that you can just correct me if I'm wrong. So in your opinion, you don't charge.
I don't charge.
And then even when you are taken for granted, you just leave them to go.
I don't charge. But if I am coming, I'll tell you, I'm coming with my crew. So if I will not charge, at least you give me transport fare. Even if I'm not going to see anything out of it, you give me transport fare that will not hinder your boss or hinder my own administration too. Do you get? So that is God. And he has been good to me.
You actually already answered the question I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you have ever gone for administration and then what they gave you was thank you. A gift.
Yes.
And then how you handled it. But you already mentioned it. You trust God. Thank you very much. So do you have any regrets as a gospel music minister?
I don't know. I blamed myself not going for what is it called? Because I was music in school, in the university. When my mother woke up one day, I said, I saw you and your siblings playing at Agege, that place, you were playing with Samba Idilolo. I said, Mommy, I familiar and play Samba. If I had known or had the belief in what she said, I should have gone for music. And how that would have helped me.
Okay, she saw it.
She saw it as a vision.
Wow.
And I didn't go by it. I wanted to become a lawyer. I went for it actually, and the Lord helped me. But then, if you know no book,
you feel like if you had done music,
if you know no book, you go there sing about. When I was in school, I was singing about. Even from school, I go from one place to another to sing.
You started that.
So one thing or the other, I got diversified. Yes. And the Lord told me, you better pack up all these things. You don't even know what they were asking me in a class one day. I was asked, can you tell us an indigenous art? What a breach of contract is? I don't know. I thought they were talking about bridge. I said, Tom Milambi. But we talk about song. Yoruba song, English song. Because I would have received and I know what I want to. So the Lord is good.
Thank you very much, ma. So who is your role model in the ministry?
The Lord told me recently that I should not just figure anybody to be I should just look at him as the author and the finisher of my faith. But then I love the instinct of Mama Bolare. I love her. I love her. The way she eulogizes God, the way she does, we can see apparently that she carries grace of God and there is fire. So yeah, she inspires me when she sings.
How would you describe your style of music? Is it similar to hers?
Me, I don't know. I have one leg and a half. So however it comes, when God gives me, I go. Yes. I don't know if she dances, but when I see song, like you are seeing me now, if I am dancing, I don't know, you can contend with me.
Wow.
To God, though.
We should do a contest.
We
should have a contest.
Nibi Eleni.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So what encouragement can you give to aspiring gospel music ministers?
What I want to tell them, even if you don't know me, I know the God I serve. Just there was one song that said, I'll put you in front of my melody. You are all that matters. God is all. Just put God in front. There is Psalm 119 verses 105. He said, the Lord is a light to my path and a lamp to my feet. The lamp to my feet. So if he is the light to your path, he is always leading you and he will always lead you aright. Do you get? He has called us to work in the ministry and he will not fail us.
So we should look up to God.
Just look up to him.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You are the most.
Yes, we actually wanted you to sing for us, but you've done that.
I've not done it. I was only singing this
please
song.
Just give us a song for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then we'll wrap it up for today.
Say, Majesty lóyìn o, ọba mímọ́, Majesty lóyìn, Majesty ọba. When I look at your wonders, I begin to marvel. When I look at your wonders, I begin to marvel. You plan the heavens without pillars.
Thank you very much, man. I guess that's your original song.
Thank you. That's my song.
Wow, thank you very much, man. So do you have songs we can download? Give us the title of the songs.
I have Inyoba, Kingly Praise. If you go to Audio Mark, if you go to my YouTube, you will see everything like that.
Thank you very much, man. It was so good having you on the show today.
Do
not forget to keep watching Kingdom Stars live on Divine TV. We would have another episode very soon. Keep your fingers crossed. Stay tuned. It was so good having you on the show. Do well to drop comments.
Thank you.
And follow us on Divine TV on Instagram and Facebook at Divine TV. Do well to also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Divine TV for more enlightening, educating, and entertaining video. My name is Praise Shogbade, and this is Divine TV, where we enrich souls through the gospel of Christ. Have a blessed day.